23andMe. It's a requirement for white people. We gotta find out what kinds of white we are. So I did 23andMe, and I thought, I grew up thinking, okay, here's what my parents have told me. I'm Sicilian, I'm Welsh, I'm Czechoslovakian, just a bunch of normal European whiteness. But, it's a requirement. If you don't do it as a white person, they will send a federal agent to your house. They'll strap you down, they'll make you spit into a tube. And I was like, I'm so busy, so I'm just gonna send it. So I spat into the tube, I sent it, and I got my results back. Wouldn't you know? And let me say, I'm just relieved I can finally say it, because I've suspected this for a while. I'm fucking French. Fuck you. Putain. For breakfast I have a cigarette and sometimes a glass of warm water, and then I sit on my porch and I look at the sky for a little bit. And then for lunch I will have something like a warm vegetable soup that I make at home. I never buy anything from the supermarket. And then for something like dinner, I will have a warm egg, a whole egg that we keep on. We don't refrigerate them in France. So I will have a warm egg for dinner and I swallow it all. And then after that, I will have another cigarette. It's good for my skin. It's how we French women, we remain so young. And then maybe for dessert, if I have had a night out at the discotheque and I come home, I'm hungry, I will have maybe another cigarette and a piece of cheese, maybe the size of my thumbnail. So this is what I do now as a French woman, and I care very, very much about art, but I don't show it. I realize when I do the jerk off gesture, my dick is huge. My dick is huge. And I'm like, okay, now I see if I'm ever having a day where I'm down on myself, I should remember, no, I'm actually quite confident, because my perception of my own phantom cock is not only is it dangerously thick, it's also 2 feet. Is this 2 feet? Maybe a foot and a half? You guys. Give me the jobs, I hate these shorts. I just got these shorts online. And I'm like, how do you make a pair of shorts fit right? Thanks, okay, we don't have to pretend. I put them, I'm gonna return them, I'm just wearing them tonight. But do you see how it's do you see it? How it's holding them? I don't plan to do this. I just want to tell you guys that I'm aware that these shorts are bad.
They're amazing.
Something that makes me really nervous, besides, everything, is when you have to assign a word to a letter. I think it's called the military alphabet, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, very popular Tina Fey movie. Because my mind automatically goes to the worst possible word that I can associate with the letter. So I was on the phone with the DMV, not to brag, and the woman I was speaking to asked me for my name. I was like, it's Lucy Blehar. She was like, what's your last name? Blehar. Okay, yeah, can you spell that for me? And I was like, yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. No, yeah. B as in butthole, fuck. L as in leprosy. E as in enema. Sorry, I mean Epstein. Sorry. H as in horny. And A as in Al Qaeda. Sorry, you can. Yeah, can you hear me? Al Qaeda. A as in Al Qaeda. Yeah. And R as in report. R as in report. Yeah, thank you so much. Every time. I recently realized that I don't think women can die. I don't think women can die. I was listening to the radio the other day because it's the Great Depression. And so I was sitting at my table with the window open, listening to the radio. And the announcer, or the host, or whatever you call them, was like, we want to commemorate the late, great Adrian Valdez, rest in peace. And I was like, Adrian, what? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, no. Adrian is a man's name, too. Because in my mind, men, that's what they do, they die. Men stay dying, men are just dying, okay? Women, no. Not allowed. Not allowed. If I say this to you, here's how I made it fair. If I say, the pilot on my flight today was an old Republican, okay? You're picturing a man. You're picturing a man. If I say, I had a doctor, I had a scientist, I'm thinking about a murderer, it's all men. So is it not fair for me to assume that every dead person is also a man? There's not a punchline, I just am thinking that probably women don't die. Oh boy. This one, yeah. Jules, I mean, this was inspired by you, kind of our conversation, but speaking of men, Jay-Z is married to Beyonce, Giselle, and Knowles Carter. And they have some kids. They have a daughter named Blue Ivy, and I think I saw some tabloid and I saw Blue Ivy and I was like, boy, I'm really feeling for all the girls who look like dad. And I'm one of them. I look like dad, and some days, even when I'm really tired, I look like dad's sister, whose name is sister in a literal nun sense, who's 93 years old and also looks like dad. And Blue Ivy's gonna thrive. She's adorable, she's probably very talented, she's got the whole world in front of her. She's gonna be fine, but I just wanna take a moment and say, if anyone is out there and you're a girl who looks like dad, let's take a moment. I feel for you. So I look like dad. Okay, let's see if I remember this. I can't do this part anymore because Eli was like making fun of comics who were like, anybody have a job? Anyone have a job? You're an editor. Do you ever dream about your job? Yeah. Okay, we all have jobs, right? Maybe not, I hope we don't. Like, let's just be like thriving on vacation. You know, you have dreams about your day-to-day life. If you're working a job, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're having dreams about that job. And the other day I was like, I wonder if waxers have dreams about their clients' hairy buttholes. They have to. They must. They must. I was on the slab the other day. That's what we call it, the slab. So I was on the slab the other day, spreading them for a stranger, 8 a.m. And Don't Cover Me was the only appointment available, and I could not wait another day, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I was on the slab. We're talking about her sons while she's ripping hair out of my mom's pubis. She has a 6-year-old and a 16-year-old, and they do not get along. And it occurred to me how, like, comfortably I was making pleasant small talk with this stranger while she's ripping hair out of parts of my anatomy that I've never seen. And I thought, how many vaginas has she stared into? How many labia has she seen? 4 times as many as vaginas, that's for sure. So then she flips me over to do the back because we're doing a Brazilian, okay? I'm not going into this and not going to half-ass it, okay? We're going full hog. I'm sweating all the way through the crinkly paper. I'm not making an appointment to not do a Brazilian, so, you know. Right. Okay, sweating through the crinkly paper, yeah. So Aiden, her son, is in trouble at school. She's ripping the hair out of my butt crack. Okay, and I think if this activity takes her 8 hours a day, let's say she works a normal shift, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 40 hours a week, that this woman is staring at her clients' vaginas, buttholes, and God bless her ball sacks. She has to be dreaming about it. She must be. I would be surprised, frankly, if she's dreaming about anything else. She's probably thinking about them all day. If she walks past a psychic on the street, the psychic's probably like, oh, no. What else could she possibly be thinking about? And these work dreams that we have are always stressful. They're stress nightmares. So for her, I imagine it's something like this. She, you know, someone's on the slab. She's ripping the hair out. She goes to throw the wax with the hair on it away. She goes back. The hair's right back.
Oh no.
It didn't come takes more wax. She waves the thing on. She rips it off. She throws it away. She goes back. The hair's right there again. But she has a 7:30, so she's ripping. She's ripping it. She's throwing it away. She's sweating. She's ripping the hair. She's sweating. It's still there. She's ripping it. She's ripping it. Her alarm goes off at 7 a.m. And she has to drive from Alhambra to Los Feliz to wax my vagina. God, my boyfriend's dead.